I'm distracted by this side of my hair being so much shorter than this side of my hair.
Well, maybe it's kind of like your eyebrows, where it's not supposed to be the same.
What are you trying to say about my eyebrows?
Not like your eyebrows.
Oh, eyebrows in general, you mean?
Yes.
I thought you were like, I wouldn't be worried about the hair. I'd be worried about what's going on above your eyes there.
You have other fish to fry over there. No one would swipe on Bumble BFF. They say,
okay.
Yuck.
We don't need to get into the Bumble BFF. That was a private story I told you.
Okay,
just
I'm sorry.
The two of us. So I do like a cough. It's part of the intro.
Did that age well though?
It really aged poorly. Like very, very incredibly poorly.
Choices. Do I also need to cough?
I would love if you would cough, but I understand in the current climate.
It's a lot to ask for.
Hey guys. Welcome back to another episode of Lesbian versus Baby Gay, where I, a self-identifying baby gay, answer audience questions with a more seasoned lesbian, older, wiser. I actually don't know how old you are.
Seasoned.
Are you older and wiser than me?
I'm 29.
29. I'm 29. Maybe wiser, maybe more seasoned. I thought I was bisexual for a really long time, and then in the past year, realized that I am in fact just a homo. And so me coming into the queer community kind of in this new way, I have a lot of questions. So welcome to the series. Thanks for coming. Jade Fox, everybody. The comedian, the content creator, the babe herself. There was just three. It was three compliments.
Oh, I was being presumptuous. Thanks for having me on your channel.
I mean, you can add.
Singer, songwriter, professional organizer.
Seasoned lesbian.
The most seasonings. Spicy seasonings, salty seasonings. I've got all the seasonings. We'll see if I can give you some tips and some tricks.
Ooh, tips and tricks.
And some tricks.
I don't know if I would still be considered a baby gay. This was one of the main questions that I got was like, are you still a baby gay?
It's not really in relation to your age. It's like in relation to your life experiences.
Okay.
Here on Earth, you're 29, but in the gay world, you're like 12.
Yeah, I'm just little still.
It's okay.
You would consider yourself a more experienced lesbian, no longer a baby gay?
I would say so. I feel like I've experienced a lot. I feel like when people say experience, they think of like sex, in which, you know, I've also done. I've done that as well.
So to clarify, the tips and tricks, was that talking about sex or not? Because I was kind of hoping.
I mean, if that's what you want, I can give you. I can give you tricks. I can give you tricks, yes. But I feel like my queer experience is fairly well-rounded. When you're just tired, I think a lot.
You're not the first person to say that.
Because at the end of the night, you just want to go to bed in your own bed and you want to be comfortable and you don't want to be sucked into another group chat because we're 29 and that it's exhausting now.
Like, I'm not there yet. I'm like, put me in every group chat. I'm eager, excited, willing.
Yes.
And that doesn't sound anything like what you just described.
Whippersnapper.
Yeah, yes. Yes, I'm 12.
That's how you walk into every establishment.
Yeah, just the gay ones. I see lesbians and I'm like, here I go. It's my time.
They're like, she's new.
I went on my Instagram and I asked all of you if you had any questions for me and Jade. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, definitely go check that out because that's where the magic happens. I will also have all of Jade's links in the description if you want to check out any of her stuff too. Let's get into the questions. Hello everybody, it's Alayna here from the future, just popping in to tell you about the sponsor of this week's video, Surfshark. For any of you who don't know, Surfshark is a VPN service. And if you've never heard of a VPN before, just stick with me because if you stream any sort of content online, this is going to change your life. Surfshark allows you to use your laptop or device from anywhere in the world as if you are anywhere in the world. For example, as you all know, I'm in the UK right now. And back in Canada, I was watching Wentworth because gay. But Wentworth is not available on Netflix here in the UK. But with Surfshark, I just change my location to Canada. Boom. Wentworth. And I also still have not seen the queer classic Imagine Me and You, and I just found out it's actually available on Netflix in Denmark. So I just changed my location to Denmark, and there I've got Imagine Me and You. It's game changing. Plus, Surfshark doesn't track or store any of your data. Maybe you're not watching Imagine Me and You, maybe you're watching Blue is the Warmest Color. Don't worry, nobody will know. So if you're interested in checking Surfshark out, you can use my code Alayna to get 83% off, as well as an extra 3 months for free. Plus, Surfshark has a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there is no risk to try it out. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. Any baby gay regretful moments that she can spare us learning the hard way?
I know that it's exciting when you meet someone and you're hitting it off and there's a romantic vibe there, and I know that that feels really good and very validating. But I guess I would just advise any baby gays that are kind of going through their first, 1 or 2 romantic situations to always remember what it actually is. I feel like at times we can romanticize things and start kind of dreaming in real life, and it can skew the relationship that is actually there. So basically, I'm saying that like any girl that I would meet that I thought was cute was an automatic like, okay, I need to be your girlfriend. Rather than it just being like, hey, maybe we can be friends. Hey, let's catch a vibe. Let's share a White Claw. Let's maybe explore friendship first, because that's a thing, it's legal, before trying to add strings and obligations and commitment that either doesn't need to be there, or maybe that certain situation that was never really what was supposed to be there. Relax, take it slow, and just be very present and not so, what is that phrase? Yes, don't
Being a whippersnapper.
Don't be very this about it. I think it just comes from like the idea that there aren't any more, or when's the next time this is going to happen again.
Oh.
I get that feeling. It will happen again though, because you're cute.
Oh my God, thank you. Oh my God, thank you so much. Especially if you're somebody who's coming out as a woman, loving woman, having had predominantly relationships with men, when you start to experience those connections with women, it's like, how do you parse out what's just like excitement because it's a woman versus this is a connection to another person that could potentially be a partner?
I think it's both, which makes it hard. And so that's why I'm saying like just be present and not get so in your head and start thinking and romanticizing. Like just feel what's happening and take it for what it is. Just be chill,
Just be chill. This feels like very specific advice. You're like, just chill out.
Next time you go somewhere, you're gonna get out of your car and you're gonna start walking like this. You're gonna be like, oh. Arms down to the sides.
Just be chill. Been ghosted twice. Is this normal with WLW dating?
I think that it's normal with all dating. I don't think that it's something that is specific to our community. I think it's just the way people communicate now, which kind of sucks, because it just feels very like abrupt. And I get that it's like, well, like, can I cuss?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. If anything, it says more about them than you. Like either they just didn't have the words to tell you like, I'm ready to go. I just take ghosting as like, you didn't really know how to say this. You didn't want to hurt my feelings, and it is what it is.
That's like a really positive spin to put on it, that it's like, they just cared about my feelings too much to...
Yes. It can be complete bullshit. But it's just like, if we're throwing out what the possible scenario was, like why not add a spin where I don't feel bad about it?
How to find lesbian communities. So like Bumble BFF. Just know that if you're on there, there are going to be some people who are also on the app who won't swipe on you because being on the app is desperate. Correct?
Yes.
Am I right or am I?
No. That is...
Sorry, it's just, I was having this conversation with someone earlier and I was like, you should try Bumble BFF. I've had like a really good experience. And she was like, the problem is that if I'm on Bumble BFF, I know everyone who's on there is desperate, I think was the word. I think the word was desperate.
I think the word was passionate for connection. That was the phrase that I think was actually used.
That's so interesting. I don't remember that.
Yeah,
at all.
so anyways, Bumble BFF absolutely is an option. But you know what though? This is what I've realized about making friends. There's like two ways to do it. You can go the very intentional, like Bumble BFF route where like putting out in the universe, I'm making friends, like I'm making it known, this is what I want to do.
That's my version.
And then there's the other route about going about it. That's just talking to everybody. Like if I'm at Starbucks and I'm waiting on my drink and there's like somebody standing next to me, I'll be like, oh, hey, what's up? Or like, oh, hey, how's your day going? You never know, you know, the similarities that you have. Go to a place where a lot of gay people go and just hang out and just make small talk.
I'm gonna start practicing that more.
You gotta be careful though. If you walk in like this, they're gonna be like, oh, I don't know.
Right. The caveat would be like, do not.
Not this.
Don't just like run up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
You would be fine if you were standing on one side of the road and you just see this walk up to you.
I would think that person is confident.
When I moved to Vancouver, I started volunteering at an LGBTQ center, and that's where I met like some of my closest queer friends. So I would highly recommend volunteering at a queer space because not only are you doing some good, you're surrounded by queer people and it's heaven on earth. For a baby gay. I'm excited to be there.
But if you like go on Google Maps, it'll tell you like LGBT friendly on the certain establishment, or just go on regular Google and just Google like LGBT owned places.
Oh,
And
yeah.
just go and just hang out.
I just started dating a touch me not. Advice?
Well,
You have previously identified as a touch me not?
I would ask yourself first, do you want
Ooh.
to date a touch me not? Because I understand that it's like admirable and respectable to meet someone where they're at, but you are also a part of that tango, sis, because it takes two. So I would think about if you are okay with that and maybe talk to them about what that specifically means. People use touch me not as a label to describe themselves, but even that is different from person to person. It could be that that person and what they're comfortable with is okay with you because it may give you some room to play around. You know, if they tell you like, no, like this is where my line is and you don't think that you'll be fully satisfied with that, then I suggest you go. You're just not gonna be fulfilled. It's just an element of incompatibility. Otherwise though, if they tell you like, hey, I'm cool with this, but the two things that they're cool with are cool with you, and then also you can communicate to them what you like, and then maybe y'all can come to an agreement, lay the terms and conditions. You could be good. You just gotta talk, and you have to talk specifically. If you guys have already been inside each other's like soft, warm spaces, this is a conversation that should be okay.
If you've already been inside each other, soft, warm spaces.
Yes, because that counts for multiple things.
Okay, is this like seasoned lesbian lingo?
No, that's just me.
It's all you?
That's all me.
Okay. No, I think it's like, because there's a label for it, right? Like touch me not. There's this sense of identity attached to it. Maybe would make people think now this has to be a different version of the conversation than any conversation about sex and boundaries. When what you're saying is it's just another conversation about sex and boundaries and compatibility.
That's exactly it. Just talk, y'all. It's not weird. Because even if you are a baby gay, there's nothing wrong with, you know, coming into the situation mature and ready to have a discourse on the subject at hand. You can show up and you can bring a briefcase if you want, with your briefcase swinging, and say, I'm ready to talk about the sex.
Now you're saying we can show up like this? This is confused. I need hard lines. What, if anything, do you miss about being a baby gay?
I remember going to Pride, like, who am I gonna meet? What's gonna happen? What am I gonna see? It's all so exciting. And it is. I guess I just miss like the mystery of it all. There was once upon a time where it was just very new and exciting. I guess I'm a little jaded now. It's still fun when you find the right group. Like for me, it was the Black and brown gays who grew up in Black culture. That was like my group. And I think that I didn't know that that was my group until I was around that group. And it takes time to like kind of weed through everybody.
I get a lot of questions from people who have anxieties or fears around like lack of experience or not knowing what things are going to be like. And the flip side of that coin is the excitement around discovering those things for the first time. Like, yes, there's anxieties, and yes, there's fears, and yes, we might maybe not know where we fit in exactly just yet, but like, let's savor those moments too.
Being open to newness and being open to whatever the hell is going to happen is helpful. And obviously, if you're new, if you haven't experienced much, it's like you are the best person to fit that role, because you're just going to take everything in. You're not exhausted, you're not tired, you're not scarred, you know? And so you're going to like fully feel whatever that experience is going to be.
This like makes kind of this idea of being a newly out person feel exciting. There's so much out there.
Fully do whatever you want to do. Like, have fun, go for it, shoot your shot, be seen, be loud, be present. Just don't lose yourself and use discretion.
This person said, sounds daft, but I think women are pretty, but not sure about vaginas. Can I be gay? Which like also just right up top want to call out that not all women have vaginas, and just because you have a vagina doesn't mean you're a woman. But specifically for this person, they're saying, not sure about vaginas, really like women. Could I be gay?
I don't know about that soft, warm place, but the rest of it though.
You could start with the other soft, warm places.
It's intimidating. I get it. Do they mean sexually? Like,
I'm assuming that they're like, I don't know about interacting with a vagina myself, but the face.
okay, I'm gonna give you an example. My dad rides a motorcycle. He's like one of those like biker guys. I rode on it twice. I hate the experience, but he loves it. I'm like, I don't know how you enjoy that, because there's so much work also that goes into just riding a motorcycle. You have to have certain equipment, and you have to ride it a certain way. You have to be mindful of all of these things that if you just drove a car, you would not have to think about. He just tells me, it's like, you have to be there and love it to really, you know, get into the experience. And I'm going to liken that mindset with this one, because until you are face to face, until you have contact, until maybe even you have a certain connection with the person who hosts the vagina, I don't think you're gonna fully understand the magic of it. And you might, and it could also not be for you.
You're saying give it a try. Hop on that motorcycle if you want to.
If you want to, and I would say just kind of like let it happen. One thing you don't want to do is like force yourself into that interaction. If you don't want to, or if you're not ready to, don't try to like, I was gonna say don't force feed yourself, but don't yeah.
When you're face to face with the vagina, no force feeding.
No force feeding. You will understand what the role it has in your life.
Oh, that sounded almost spiritual.
We're both queers on the internet. I was just thinking about this the other day. I was like, I don't think there's any group of people that has made sex education videos like a lesbian on YouTube has made a sex education video. When I watch those, they literally talk about vaginas as if they are magical orifices that produce, I mean, they do produce amazing things.
I'm sitting here listening to you and I'm like, check.
It's a spiritual thing. And you know what? It may not be spiritual for you. It may be fully functional. It may be, you know, ornamental. It may be, you know, whatever. And so I think that until you know, actually have that hands-on experience, you won't really know what the role it actually has into your life.
I don't know if necessarily any of us think of any genitals before we've interacted with them and go like, yes, yummy, like that looks good to me.
Definitely not.
Bodies are strange and gross and intimidating and fun and wonderful and all these other things. I don't think that any of us go into our first interactions with that body part thinking like, that's for me.
Because you don't know. You haven't been able to like have those sensory signals go off.
Made your own connection to it.
I will say though, I feel like having sex, once you have sex a few times, once you kind of get used to having that type of contact, I keep saying that, but like having that type of contact, you just learn to see the human body as less of this thing and more of like something that should be pleasured and taken care of. I think you should explore a body beyond the genitals because it's more than that. I think it's helpful to experience the entire body
Person.
and the experience that comes along with it, the person. It's never really just about the genitals in anything ever.
There's this expectation put on, I guess, queer folks probably more so, like you said, that the vagina is this like magical spiritual being and we're supposed to like worship it and love it. But like, how do you don't know if you've never come into contact. This is part of the exciting discovery. So earlier you were like, oh, I'd happily give you tips and tricks. Do you have like a top tip that you would care to share with the class?
A top tip. One thing that I think is I'm not gonna say it's my specialty, but it's something that I think of while in the act. And that is to always give the illusion. Regardless of what you're doing, try to position your body in a way that shows the goods. Arch the back, point the toes. You gotta sell it, because it's one thing to be physically feeling whatever it is that you're doing. It's another to feel it and have an image.
That's the most Leo tip that you could have.
Probably. You know what though? It works. Being verse is great because you get to do both and have the best of both worlds, and it's awesome. But I think my favorite part is being able to be or show femininity while topping.
Yes.
And being able to jump in and out of the femininity and masculinity and power versus softness all at the same time. I will leave that with you, and you can do with that what you want.
Great. Do you have any like parting words or anything you want? Okay, I'm out of here, guys. Until next time.
Just like, do you, have fun, enjoy this discovery and this sense of newness that comes along with being a baby gay, and don't let any like old biddies try to get up in your face telling you what it is. You know what it is. They're just exhausted and tired and don't have sex anymore. But you are whippersnappering. So you whippersnapper.
We're still selling the illusion.
Yeah, you whippersnapper the out, girl.
Thank you so much for coming on the channel.
Thanks for having me.
Like I said, all of Jade's links will be in the description if you want to check any of them out. I would highly recommend it. And I'd like to say one more thank you to the sponsor of this video, Surfshark. Click that link in my description and check it out. Like I said, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk in trying it. And be sure to use my code Alayna to get that 83% off and the 3 free months. A huge thank you, as always, to my VIP patrons, my vitally important producers. I love you all very much. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! I had one person write in. God, how old am I? I had one person submit something and they were like, oh my God, you've talked about her so much and now she's gonna be on your channel. I was like, oh God, I do talk about you a lot.
I mean, I didn't know that.
Well, the actually good lesbian thirst traps, that content is all you. And then I made a video like years ago and I was like, my top lesbian crushes. You were one of them. Welcome to my channel. I hope I'm making you feel comfortable and safe.
I feel so comfortable. People giving me compliments.
Perfect. I should have added that to the list.
Leo.